back, and we are back. How's everybody doing this lovely, lovely Thursday?
Alhamdulillah. Shoulder stop hurting, so small victories.
Your shoulder was hurting, huh?
I'm all right.
You all right? Me and Omatic went to the bar last night to watch some of the Sixers Magic game. Know that Omatic is a funny ass nigga.
It's a funny team.
I told you this nigga's is funny. Before we get into today's topics, any just banter about life or vibes or anything you guys want to get off your chest or say now that we're just kind of thinking about it, putting that in the air.
Cool.
Anything, James?
I don't have anything for life. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind.
Okay, just asking,
How about you, brother Charles?
Nah, I've been thinking about I've been
Ulterior motives. You wanted to get into some.
okay. I will continue talking about what I have planned. I like you
No,
just
no, no. Go, buddy. Let us hear it.
nah. I mean, I was just saying that I was thinking about like how spring, like the transition from like winter to spring, sometimes isn't something that like you see sometimes very clearly, but as you're going through it, it's very you could feel it. So you might not always be able to see it, but you could definitely feel it. And I feel that way about life sometimes. That like you might not always be able to like kind of see what's transpiring or like what's happening next or kind of like how things are moving, but you can definitely feel that, and that's like a real thing. So I was just kind of thinking about that because I feel as though around April randomly, like I always get this kind of same kind of like cleanse feeling, like something, like something's gonna happen. Like I don't really know like what in particular, but I always get this kind of like something a new will come. So um, no, I just was thinking about that randomly a lot lately. So when you asked that, that's why I said that. But
Yes, I had hold on, but that's crazy though, because me and little sis was actually having that conversation yesterday.
you said you assist.
Yeah, me and little sis was having that conversation yesterday, because like we was just basically talking like subtle basically like patience, like you know what I'm saying, like in a similar way. I felt like, especially like within the last month and a half, was just like it feels like something's coming. Don't know what it is yet or what it is, like you know what I'm saying, but it feels like a positive thing, I guess you could say. So you know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, all right. So it's just like, all right, pray for a lot of things during Ramadan. They do out for a lot of things during Ramadan. So like right now, it's just like okay, like and the previous Ramadans. So it's just like now, it's just like all right, bro, like stay the course. Then you might be able to get like a couple du'as like that you pray for, even though I'm already living a few of them. But it's just like alhamdulillah for that. But like inshallah for sure.
I think to the point of something's coming. Super random. I don't know if cats believe in birds shitting on you is good luck and all that. Like that's a thing. But I got shot on the other day. I was like, you know what? All right, man.
That's
Let's
what.
go.
That's all right.
Let's go. A little left shoulder. I'm just trying to get a salad. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? But you know, maybe something is coming for all of us. Who knows, man?
Yeah, perspective. Honestly, that's kind of like been my bag. I will say, a lot of my adult life is like this idea of perspective. Like, nothing is ever too good, nothing is ever too bad. And I think sometimes people take that as like not caring, but no, I think to me, it's just a very kind of like
Staying even kill.
yeah, like a very like measured look at how I see not just the world but myself, because like I can't ever be too high or ever be too low, because then everything else will be fucked up. Like life is life. life is life is definitely really hard. Like the older you get, the more you realize that life is just hard. It's not like any one particular thing. It's like you feel like you mastered this one thing, and then the next thing happens. You feel like you mastered that thing, and that's just how life happens. So once you realize that, you got two choices, in my opinion. You either soak in the fact that it is hard, which it is, or you try to find perspective in the fact that life is hard. And whatever perspective you can find, everybody, everybody's different. Like that's why I'm trying to get better at like not judging people, even for things that I deem to be like wrong. Like, oh, somebody got a gambling addiction, somebody got a sex addiction, somebody did this, somebody did that. I think it's very easy to judge because it's like, man, life, but like life is hard, man. Like sometimes people get pushed to edges that or places that you could never be. So I'm trying to take that, like I said, a lot more in perspective these days, and give that grace in just how I look, not just at myself, but at the world in general. Um, Gotta love the kids. But you know what? I was gonna start somewhere else, but let's start there. So there was a report recently. Fortune. I read it in Fortune magazine, but it comes from a. The Fortune article is not letting me read now. It's over a paywall, but. Well, it was an article. It was a survey that was taken by some company in America, and they basically said that it costs now $300,000 plus to raise a child to the age of 18 in the United States of America. Somebody got a sense of and I found that super 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 like interesting because a lot of conversation you see, at least on the internet that I be on sometimes, is about like child support, child care this, dating this. So when you see like some sort of study or actual number put to some of these things, it definitely gives you some like, that's interesting. So as I was reading the article, I did some quick maps in my head, and I said, 300,000 over the span of 18 years is about like $15,000 a year. That's not like a crazy amount when you really think about it. That's about $1,000 a month for your child. And then I got to thinking, all right, so what is kind of like the biggest child support payment that I heard like I know of somebody having it, and I was like, that's kind of like crazy. Like your child doesn't really need all that. And my man's one time was like he was paying like close to 4K, and I was just like, that's kind of ridiculous.
Goodness
Now I
gracious.
recently talked to him. He said he got it to around 2K, and even then I'm still thinking that's kind of crazy. Like just as like as a grown adult, and what I kind of
That
spend.
baby making more than a lot of adults.
You know what I'm saying? Like, kind of what I spend on myself, what kind of like, what comes in, what comes out. So then I said, all right, scratch that. Just for like what I think I spend on my child. Like, how much do I think I spend on my child a month? And I was like, definitely not 1,000. Definitely not 1,000. So I was thinking, all right, as my child get older, will I spend more? Maybe, probably. But I just don't know how much. I feel like once again, I feel like two things. Someone's lying. So someone is lying. Like either the people in the streets are lying, or this survey is basically taking the richest of the richest and using them as a baseline or as the standard for child whatever services and rearing and all that good stuff. And that could be the case, which I wouldn't even be mad at because children do deserve nice things for sure. So like, if we're gonna be pricing all of this at kind of like the best of the best, I'm not even mad at that. But I just look at my life. I look at a lot of people I know's life, and I just think, hmm, $300,000. That's a lot of bread.
It's a crazy amount of bread.
And once I start thinking about that, I think my next question, which is not as like kosher, is what does that say about like children and like the idea of an investment? Like, should you really be like wanting like personally, my
Look at
parents got
Charles said, "What is my ROI?"
no funny shit. Like my parents personally got everything back plus some on their investment. Like there's no like oh we're not happy with the money we put into you. Like from Catholic school to after school activities, like they got a really good solid ROI from this guy. But like in general, is it like would it be wrong if we really started like looking at our kids from a strictly like ROI type of sentiment if we start like really because I feel like that's kind of what this does. Like one of the first things I read in the article before the fucking joint took itself away from me was that it says children are priceless, but there is a price tag. And I was like that's interesting. Like the idea, like human commodity, like human life can be commodified in such a way. I think it's very, very, very slippery slopish. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but I definitely think you get to a weird point where, like, when we start putting intrinsical, intrin, intrinsic, intrinsic, intrinsic value on
Here
people's
we go.
lives, or for the things that we believe they're worth, it gets really it gets like not interesting, but it gets really slippery slope. Like,
Is there anything specific? I have the article up. Is there anything specifically in there that you wanted to point out? Since I'm not behind the paywall, but I'm in the article.
no, I just think the idea of first of all that it raised from 216,000. I thought that was interesting. Just because as things get more expensive as the world goes, that would make sense. So some of it wasn't surprising to me just because things cost more.
When was the last time they did the survey?
I see 2025 here. Um,
I think he said prior to that.
oh, I don't know. I didn't see that. I don't see that in here. What's interesting to me in this whole thing is they did the top three states and then they did the bottom three, and fucking Maryland is third. Like that's crazy to me. Well, not crazy, but it's just wild because we're here. But what's crazy to me, but also isn't crazy to me because we've been in this area for all of our fucking lives. DC is low third, like the lowest of the third, and it's just crazy.
It's once again, right?
Like we're right here. Like how the fuck is
Right
this
across the
happening?
border. It's probably people who live in Maryland or DC and vice versa. And like, so, and that's the thing to me. Like, it's a very interesting. Um, it's a very interesting numbers game. Like when you really, really think about it, because who's to say what type of investment means more? So is it strictly a because people talk about it like your area code determines a lot of your life outcomes. Like this is a thing that has been talked about. This is a thing that has been studied in socioeconomics, all that good stuff. So when you look at it from that
Point of
perspective,
redlining.
hmm,
Point of redlining.
all these historical things that have happened. So when you look at it from that perspective, the numbers somewhat make sense. That hey, the more money that you put into something, the better the outcome will be. But that doesn't, I think, take into account a whole bunch of things. I see Keith's put in two-parent household, different things of that nature definitely have to play a part. Like even the idea of knowing, like having relationships with your parents versus not. Like there's people who don't necessarily live with their parents, but they have perfectly fine relationships with them versus people who do live with their parents who don't. And how that, all these little kind of things that are kind of hard to I think are kind of hard to put a stamp on to say hey this is why it's like that has to be taken into account when we're talking about like child raising and child rearing. So just the fact that there's a number like there's for a lot of people there's this kind of concrete number I think is super interesting to me at least.
But to answer your original question, um, that's a nasty way to look at it. Like,
The
uh,
ROI.
Yeah, like no, I don't think that's a healthy way to look at the relationship between you and your child. Like, because even if you do invest that much into them, like, who's to say that you did you nurture them? Like, just
Well,
because
that's
you invested this money doesn't mean that you actually like fed them the tools and everything that they needed to. Like, you could have just put money into some shit. Like, just because I put money into you playing basketball, like having a trainer, doesn't mean that like I'm teaching you like the simple nuances of like maybe why you should love this sport, like camaraderie, like brotherhood, shit like that, teamwork. Also learning how to work as an individual within a team. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, like thinking ahead, like shit like that. So it's just like, yeah, but I can't really call that. But yeah, shout out to the Republicans because I didn't know that much about that survey. That it was like a Republican back focus group that originally did it. So, because they were talking about it on Fox News this morning, and I caught that clip.
I mean, listen, I think it's super interesting. Like I said, anytime you put it, because we used to do that game a lot here. How much would you, how much would you to do this? How much would you do to do Y, do Z? And I definitely think the idea of putting a number, especially in the society we live in, is a real thing. Like once you start putting value to things, people start looking at things very, very differently. Once you
Looking at
say
you
it
different.
costs X to do this, people go like, is it worth is it worth the value? Is it worth the and like that's a very, very, especially when we're talking about human life. Like this is what I'm saying. Like we're not talking about a car. We're not talking about we're not talking about a decision like a college decision or something that can have real.
Talking about raising this motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. Like it can have real life impacting decisions, but
Yeah.
those are kind of hit or miss. We're talking about the actual value in life in itself, and that very, 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 very interesting. Um, a good article. Read it. If let me know what you guys think. Like, let us know what you guys. If you guys are pro it, should we start putting pressures on people to have babies? Like, should you like be have to show a W-2 that you make X amount of dollars before we allow you to
Starting to sound like the Handmaid's Tale.
keep your baby, or do you have to give it up to the state? That would be a crazy. That'd be a crazy
Really
move.
starting to sound like the Handmaid's Tale, man. Oh,
I
you're
mean,
poor? Give the baby up.
I'm just saying because once again, how once you start putting value on things and you start telling people, hey,
You
this is
can't
how much.
afford this.
If you don't hit that quota, then people are gonna say, are you being negligent? But that's the next. We had this conversation about the father with the guns that time, or whose responsibility is it? If you're telling people that there's a very specific number that if they reach, they are kind of doing it. I'm proud. What do you take from that? Like, do you just leave it at face value and you say, hey, that's what it is, or yeah, no babies for broke niggas. Let's get right. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, once again, I feel as though like a lot of people, once you start saying stuff, you'd be surprised how many people would actually be for like a take like that.
Mm.
As much as it sounds crazy,
The
I
more
think once
conservative you are, I would see. I could see you thinking that way.
hmm?
The more conservative you are, I could see you thinking that way.
But even just your upbringing, if you grew up in a certain type of environment, you might just be like, "Yo, that wasn't a vibe, so I don't want that." Like those type of traumas, I think are far more real than I think people will give credit for.
Oh no, for sure.
Ooh, custodian. Yeah, Trump was randomly doing that. I think he actually implemented that. There's a whole like Trump account. I forget what company that they partnered up with, but that's definitely something that I've seen in the works. And once again, I think it's an interesting concept.
I don't have the comments up. What was said?
Hmm?
I don't have the comments up. What was said?
There's a custodian 529. He said custodian 529 before you get a social security number for your child. And like once again, I think all of those things are good ideas, but but there's also this idea that who's gonna control that? So like once you're telling me if your parent is already
Oracle
not
problem.
thinking about that before you, I don't know how the state mandating that is going to be is going to change anything outside of them doing it that one time, getting the social security number, and maybe never investing again. But I do understand the idea of having something like that to incentivize, you know, proper stewardship of children. Like simply that's what it is. But no free bread though. No, that's what I'm saying. Like I think the idea of making people like have to sign up for something like that is super interesting because the government forces you to do a lot of different things. So like I don't understand why sometimes there isn't an incentive to force people to do things that would be beneficial to them. And I don't think that would hurt. Like if you made sure that every child in the United States of America at the time of their birth had some sort of investment account and that was funded, and even if the minimum was $100, that's a start. Like
Where's the money coming
once again, it would come. That's what I'm saying. It would have to come from the parents. Like that. That's the issue. That's ultimately. I get what you're saying. That would be the point of.
from? If it's government ran and you got signing for the government, why does the parent have to give up their money? It should come from the government. I gotta go
Um,
through all of this.
because
Like
you
you
have to
make
pay
the
for
parents make the
you
parents
have to
pay a
pay for your
fee.
driver's license. You have to
Make the
pay
parents.
for.
That's what I'm saying. Make the parents pay a fee, and then
Yeah,
once you sign up, you good.
well, that's what I'm saying. You have to fund the account. That's
No,
what
I'm
the
not talking about funding an account though. I'm just saying, like, if you got all of these people putting all this money into a pot, allocating it, the government is running it, then shouldn't
no
the
no
money
no no
just
no
flow
no
back through it?
no no. See, I don't see that. There's no
Like, you
pot.
just make it.
There's a
Well,
there's
you
a
so it's a separate bank account that this one person holds that the government runs.
no. The government makes it so that if you are having a child, you have to have this account for the child. The same way, if
For
you
all
want to
that, you
drive,
might as well just go through your own personal bank.
once again, if you we can ascend, we can do a thing where
You
if
might
you
get a
do
better rate from them than the government.
fine. Well, I'm not telling you you have to use the
Charles,
whole
I'm just
idea is
trying
that
to poke holes in your. I'm just trying to poke holes
yeah, I
about you,
get
man.
that, but
I'm not saying like
that's
I
the
don't
whole
really give
point.
a fuck. I don't agree with you, but yeah,
But that's the whole point of this sort of idea is that we're trying to create a pathway so that regardless of who you are, there is some sort of mechanism in place.
but I mean, if it was we had universal health care, we wouldn't have these issues. A lot of.
I mean, once again, I'm not. We can advocate for that. Like, I don't think anyone here isn't advocating for universal health care, but in this one scenario, if we're going to have children, we're trying to think about them from an
But
economic.
a lot of parents go into debt just having their children.
Well, that's that
Hospital
would be
bills and shit. Like we not gonna act like health bills isn't like one of the most leading causes of debt in this country.
that's very true. But if you have like emergency service, that's a whole different story. Like there's people who have children by the state essentially because they don't have any health insurance. So like we could there's a whole that's a
I don't
whole
hear it.
different I think that's a whole different argument versus once the child is born
We
having an
just talking
account
about broke niggas,
for
and
what they're
then
doing.
like broke people. A lot of broke people are in debt. So just I was just trying to tie it all together. But
Yeah, no, I don't deny broke people are in debt, but then see that's getting very to me far more closer to eugenics saying, hey, broke people can't have children. I think
I think
what
that's where this conversation is really going.
well ultimately, yeah, that's the anytime you put once again, once you put a cost to something,
That's what I'm saying.
that's what happens. I think where the idea of an account here where it kind of levels the playing field is that you're saying that hey, this is for the benefit of someone. Now, we know that, like I said, it doesn't have to be the government. Hey, if you're at the doctor's office and you say, hey, my grandfather gave my child all this money, I have this thing for him, that's fine. Sign it on the paper, and but like there's multiple ways in which I think this could work. In the
Yeah,
idea is
my
that
issue was more so like the government mandate shit. It was just like that was the thing, because it's just like there's no way niggas talking about like what they're doing, and I'm just thinking of like current administration. It's just like it's no way like these niggas is like expanding, but yet stripping away government, and then thinking like, oh yeah, like every child in every state, because like this nigga literally just said on TV they can't afford it. So it's just like
yes,
they, so they damn sure don't got the people to actually run said organization and make sure every child born every day, their parents have said bread to set up said bank account.
No, I don't deny that this is an incompetent government, and I wouldn't really trust them with um, handling something of this nature. But most of the things I think when we're talking about a government that we believe in good faith. Like that's kind of how this works. I think Mandani in New York is a perfect example. Like he made some promises to his people, and he's doing a number of them.
Three city
And
run grocery stores opened up.
huh?
Three city run grocery stores just opened.
There's a way in which government can work for people for the things that they need. But like I said, this could be it could be a local thing in which I just heard the state of India just made a deal with Israel to have some sort of buildings be built there for some
Stuff like that.
technological things. If states can implement laws of that nature, I don't see why it's any different to say, hey, if any child born in this state, we're going to have a option for them to have an account to give them an economic head start. You could call it the economic head start plan, in which every child in your state
We don't gotta name
gets a
it.
free account, da da da, and keeps it pushing. But yeah, $300,000 for the kids. Very interesting article. Read it. Let us know what you think. Um, Basically, let us know if we're getting to the point where we're telling broke people they can't have kids, and does that make you uncomfortable? Because that's
Mm.
basically where the conversation is going.
Handmaid's Tale, bro. Handmaid's Tale.
TMZ takes Washington D.C. I don't know if you guys have seen, but TMZ has now decided that they are in the business of politics, not just entertainment, gossip, ragtag, and they've hit the Capitol Hill, and they've been kind of causing a little kerfuffle the last couple of days in D.C. Trying to expose senators and Congress, men and women alike. Are you pro TMZ taking on DC?
I find it interesting
Why?
because the CEO is in the Epstein files.
Mm. Mark Levin, is that his name?
Harvey.
Harvey Levin.
Him in the files. So yeah, I found it pretty interesting that they at this time where we at in history that he decides to open up a DC office. But it's just like it's whatever, bro. Like it's like the shit gonna get out regardless. It's not like we need TMC here, but it's cool to
Well,
have them at the local watering holes and all of that, like
well, well,
catching the gossip.
you know what I do think is interesting though. Um, I do think you're right to a certain extent that TMZ isn't needed, but I do think they're necessary because their relationship is far different. I
Yeah,
think there
facts.
are I think there are a lot of reporters, there are a lot of people to your point who are in these bars, who are in these restaurants, who are in these places in DC who hear and know a lot of this stuff, but they want to be in the good graces of a congressman or a congresswoman. They want to kind of work for the senator,
Or use that information in a different way.
or they want to get their family member, their best friend, their whoever they know, their neighbor into some sort of dealings or working in DC. And that's not what TMZ is here for. Like TMZ is kind of here to be messy in the most messiest of ways.
And
So
to make bread, bro.
essentially, like they're here to be messy and make bread. So to me, it provides a very interesting tug and pull because you have journalists who are probably like to Mook's point, who have been here, who are in the know, who you know can probably give up, can get a lot of different scoops, but writing a two-page story with a byline in the post isn't gonna do you as well as TMZ talking about it at 6:30 on TV with the Harvey dude and whatever the other guy is, standing making funny voiceovers and sound effects over your video. So I definitely think it's a very very interesting, and I want to see like when they get a big fish because to Mook's point, a lot of the information is kind of stuff we've already known with certain people. So like I want to see when they kind of pull out the big fish of finding a story that isn't kind of something that we've maybe been privy to or have had rumblings about? And how far does it go? Like, are they able to actually get somebody to resign? Like,
You know what I'm
let's see,
saying? Cause
let's
like
see that happen.
DC not LA, bro. Like, and politics is not entertainment, right? Them niggas is two totally different people, bro. Like, they do not let people in the way people may let you into Hollywood. Like, you can get invited to a party in Hollywood and be like, oh, like that's that. You in DC, nigga, you might walk in the room, hey, you gotta give up your phone, champ. Like, why? Because of who's in here. And you're not gonna know who's in there until you get in there. Like, oh, you don't want to give up your phone? Step off. Like, that's simple. It's like, and you just don't know. So, but yeah, like, but to your point, like when they get that one insider that get them that one big scoop, I'll give them their credit. But until then, man, move around, Jay.
No matter you fucking with TMZ and DC.
Yeah, I absolutely 1000% disagree with saying that it's not entertainment. Like politics is literally just a bunch of entertainment. Yes, it's fucking with our lives day to day. This shit is all fucking entertainment to me. I've been saying that forever. I say our president gives comedy specials when he does his fucking State of the Unions. This is perfect for TMZ. Like this is a media outlet that's coming to cover media. That just so happens to be the politics here. I have no problem with it. I think when you dropped the shit, I was like, I'm fucking with it. Like, get them here, pull up the dirt. You know, the niggas that are here, they probably, as you said, they can't put that in the Washington Post or whatever. That shit's gone now, and they're probably not gonna be afraid to do it. Granted, someone probably might fuck them up. You know what I mean? Like they might fuck them up because again, you're coming to new territory. You're not from here, and they're probably not gonna give no fucks about what they're gonna put out. But they don't give a fuck. I mean, that's literally their bag. So I'm not mad at it. I'm fucking with it. Just keep the circus going, man. This just adds to the circus at this point. The fucking TMZ is here doing this shit. So I'm fucking with it.
Give me
Yeah.
something new then. Give me
They just got here. Give them some time. They'll get you something, man. What the fuck?
nah, nigga. Pull up with something, nigga. Like you TMZ, you supposed to pull up with something.
Nah, I'm with Omatic. Give him some time. Let him get a lay of the land. Because you know how in LA they do that.
Oh, we been to the White House, man. That nigga been here, man.
You
You
know how
said
they
they need
do.
to go to the bar. Let them find out which bar to go to and
You
shit,
know
man.
how
You got
you
time.
know how on LA when you ever see the TMZ like they're talking to random people on the street. Like they gotta get that going in DC. Like we gotta run into them one day and see so they can start asking us like, did you see? For example, I swear this is gonna be the quickest politics story. The lieutenant governor, former lieutenant governor of Virginia, who did the
Because
murder suicide,
Justin Fairfax.
who did the murder suicide. That is like the typical story in which you would think they would kind of be in the crux of finding out information, like the little nuances that we already heard this story, right? We already know this has happened. We got like the large, but there are many details of it that even when you heard I think the police chief talk about it, he was like, they had a divorce that everybody knew about. Well, I don't think everybody knew about it. I think maybe people who are in their circle or into politics, but with TMZ now,
I said they talked about it when he left office.
we'll get a I think a far greater scoop. And to I think to a max point, their just reach is larger. Like they're just going to kind of get more people to have eyes on this in a way that people aren't going to be reading, whether it's the Washington Times, the Washington Post, CNN, all these kind of traditional politics media spaces. So no,
Messy media. Messy fucking media, dog. Like on TV. Like this shit is crazy,
I'm
bro.
with Omatic. I'm super here to see what happens. I'm messing with TMZ in
Bunch
Washington.
of sludge.
Listen, they said they're draining the swamp. Let's see what happens. Um,
They
speaking of,
just they just had a pool flood on their watch, Charles.
that's kind of his fault too.
Literally their fault, bro.
Kind of theirs, but
They ain't draining shit. They add more shit to the shit.
yeah, to an extent. Uh, let's finish with this last politics thing, and then let's move to the sports because you guys feel very strongly about the WNBA, and I'm about to blow you guys even more today. All right, so let's get to the Iran war. Um, Trump on Wednesday said it is very close to ending, which we know means code for he's about to do another sort of invasion or attack in the coming days. So, um, I'm gonna make this very quick. It is 8:40. I'm gonna give this 3 minutes. This is what I think is gonna happen for the coming weeks because we're gonna go large view here. They tried to extract uranium or whatever, and they failed. That was that whole thing with the pilot. We've all, whether they'll admit it or not, we've all come to know that that's what happened and that's what took place. With that being said, they're going to do some sort of invasion, whether it is a full scale ground invasion, whether it's another kind of co op type of thing they did, like with the pilot that did it or didn't, and whatever happened, something is happening because over the last month, 6 weeks, all they have done is try to temper the situation only to attack right after. Um, the Pope stuff is hilarious. Beefing with the Pope is just a very random situation that lets me know that cats are losing, and when you start losing, you start just attacking any and everyone because your hope is to get the pressure off of you. But like I said, with with the larger view being that there will be a ground invasion in the coming weeks, how many troops are Americans willing to allow to die before they say enough is enough? They just passed whatever in Congress, 214 to 13 to keep the war going. I say be very careful what you want to happen because this can only go on for so long before the number count gets too high for people and gas prices get too high for people. That's all I'll say as far as that goes.
Hmm. Uh, I agree with you. I definitely think they're going to try some type of invasion because I think that's why Hegseth was up there misquoting the Bible. Like this nigga misquoting Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
Like that's kind of crazy. I'm like, that's not a Bible quote, my nigga. Like, but yeah, so like he's rallying the troops with all types of bullshit. So like Charles said, I definitely think they're going to try to like their version of a Normandy. That's why they're
Mm.
trying. That's why they have so many ships in Strait of Hormuz right now. I think they're going to really. That's why they keep talking about the ports. The
Blockades and
ports.
stuff.
Yeah, but like the more extent of the blockade is just like, oh yeah, like if y'all keep coming, then we're going to start attacking the ports. So it's just like, okay, my nigga, like if you really think you're going to attack a port, good fucking luck, cause it's just like the Houthis have chilled out on them. Like I'm gonna keep it brief too, but like chill summary. The Houthis have chilled out. Iran has chilled out because they actually granted the ceasefire and all of that. So it's just like, yeah, bro. But once eventually these niggas put foot on land, it's over with. And they already talking about sinking ships. So yeah, and they have millions of people volunteering for service, and we about to have a draft. So we getting spanked. We getting spanked, baby.
The funniest, I don't, I hate to, it is not about the actual war, but the funniest story that I've seen, I swear to God, in the last 2 weeks was, I forget which army in the Middle East was like, you can get out of military service, but you have to prove that you're gay. And in proving that you're gay, you have to be the one. You have to be the one
Getting
getting
penetrated.
getting penetrated. They won't allow. They won't allow uh, someone to not.
Real nigga, bro. It's just
that
like, yeah, nigga, no, you gotta take
yo,
it.
that was the funniest thing. I'm gonna send y'all that article. I'm gonna find out what actual, because I don't want to put this on any wrong group of people. I don't want to say these people who did this when it was these people, but it was
I'm
definitely
not
a
gonna lie, it sounds like the Kurds.
I want to say it was them or it was the Houthis, but it was definitely a Middle Eastern military group who they said was on that. Who gay? Cassian said that. No, what happened for whoever's listening is that the military says that the only way you can get out of military service is by proving that you are gay, and you cannot be the one doing the giving. You have to be taking the giving. That
How
is.
long? How long they making cats receive the penetration?
It doesn't matter, bro.
I
It
just.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It
I
doesn't
think
matter. It
it.
doesn't
I
matter.
think it. I
It
think
doesn't.
it.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. Stop it. It doesn't. What the fuck are you talking about right now? You crazy?
Yo, how long are
No,
they making
no,
people
no.
do this,
Stop.
bro?
Stop. Stop. It doesn't
Um,
matter. As soon as you say, yeah, I'll take it, they be like, all right, bro, get the fuck over there with that shit, bro.
I
You
don't
need to
think they're
go
doing that.
repent. You're gonna send no, we're gonna send you straight to the mosque and we're gonna deal with you after we get done with this war. Okay? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you steadfast on the thing and may he keep you safeguarded. But we gonna get you your shit when we get back. But you know what I'm saying? But for right now, you go that way. Cause you're gonna be on some other shit
I'm
when we get out
sorry.
there.
I didn't mean for this.
This nigga talking about how long. Nigga, stop it.
I'm thinking.
Nigga, you a freak ass. Nigga, how many licks do it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? You
I'm
bitch ass
trying
nigga.
to. I'm trying to help the people out. Like maybe they want to get
No,
out.
no,
Maybe they
no,
want to get out,
no,
bro. They
no,
is it
no.
2 minutes? Is it 10? This
They,
is a big difference for
they
cats,
need to,
bro.
does it matter?
It could. I don't know.
Alright, bro. Alright.
We need the article, Charles.
Alright.
We need the
We have
article.
strayed.
I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna
We
send
need
it.
We
the
have strayed.
I'm gonna send it to you guys as soon as this is
the
over.
people need to know what they're signing up for if they're signing
No,
up for that.
no. If you
Oh my!
sign up for it, obviously you don't care how long it takes.
Whoa! Slow down there. Let's go to
If that's your bag, come on, Charles. If that's your bag, you ain't gonna care.
slow down. You do make a good point. I will give you that.
Like, thank you. If that's your bag, you're not gonna give a fuck how long you gotta do it. You're just gonna be like, oh, I bet I'm gay. Like, you, we out.
You do
Like,
make a salient point. But I really respect the army for going through
for sure.
to really go through these these parameters.
Niggas is choked up on this motherfucker tonight. This nigga Omatic is crazy, Charles.
Bro, it's for the people. What
No,
do you
no,
mean, bro?
stop,
It's
stop,
for the
stop,
people,
stop,
bro.
All right,
stop.
let's move to. I'm really joking. Let's move to sports. All right. Before we actually talk about games and drafts, I want to get on my old man real quick.
Okay.
I hate the fact that the playing games and 3 of the 4 games on Saturday to start the NBA playoffs are on streaming. Adam Silver, you will pay for your crimes.
What
Please know that.
are they all on Amazon? Cause that would
No,
blow me.
3 of the 4 games are on Amazon Prime. The last game, 8:30, Lakers Rockets is on ABC. But
Okay.
3 of the 4 games on Saturday are on Amazon Prime. And I don't understand why. Bro, when you're watching a live sporting event, you know there are breaks in there's commercials, especially back commercials, this and that. You might just want to flip the channel. You might just want to fucking, I don't know, do anything. But you know what you can't do when you're streaming is fucking flip the chat. Like, bro, they had a technical difficulty in a play-in game.
39 seconds.
Be so fucking serious right now, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, that doesn't happen all the time." Who cares? Like, it happens enough. Like, if you're trying to tell me that
It happened during a pivotal game.
if you're trying to tell me in a high stakes game with seconds left that my TV might start buffering when I'm watching a live, that's the whole point about live TV. It is the last medium that is truly you have to experience it when you experience it. You cannot replay a live event. A live event happens and that's when it happens. So when we're watching it, we all want to experience it in real time if we're watching it. You're not about to tell me I'm watching a basketball game and 29 seconds left, the joint just starts stuttering. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? Like, that makes no sense to me. So for me, I'm on my old man soapbox. I hate the streaming, in particular of very important games. These ain't no regular season. These are playoff games, like legitimate playoff games. And I know the NBA cats. They'll tell you that they paid a lot of money. Amazon paid a lot of money, and that's fine. But I don't want to hear anything about like people not watching the games and people not enjoying because you are making it harder. You are making it harder for people. You are asking people to go through an extra loophole to watch your biggest product at its most important time of the year. That doesn't make sense to me. You are putting more hurdles in front of people's faces to watch the sport that you apparently want more eyes on at its most important time. At the time where
Poor
it
niggas don't deserve sports, Charles. Poor niggas don't deserve sports.
and once again, this might be the name of this episode. Poor niggas don't deserve shit because obviously that's where we're getting to with everything. Everything is being commodified to say it's for you or it's not for you, and the only reason and the only way we're determining that is through some sort of dollar amount. So like, if you're not willing to pay for Amazon Prime, you're not watching 75% of the NBA playoffs on Saturday. You either gonna pay for Amazon Prime, go sit your ass at a bar or something for several hours, or you're not watching the NBA for majority of the day on Saturday, and that is crazy to me.
Yeah, I think what hurts, they just released the viewership, and that shit is up. So I think that just hurts. You know, defeats all the arguments. The streaming shit sucks. I personally don't like it. I think for me the channel flip is definitely important. But even right, I can somehow get away from okay, we're on commercial, I wanna change this shit with a good multi-view on the app. Amazon's multi-view shit is trash. Like it's just terrible. So it's just like dog, I can't even put an extra joint on here because it just sucks. Like as much as I don't like the YouTube TV, you can put a game. You can put as many weird type of combination of games that you want. The Amazon joint sucks. Cutting out in the middle of the end of the game. We're 121 to 124, and we having technical difficulties. Someone got fired for sure. Like what are we doing? Like what are we doing here? I'm not fucking with the stream, and I haven't fucked with it. Since the whole conversion, it's too many apps. I'm watching it, but it's some bullshit. So
I'm
Retweet.
glad we're on the same page.
yeah.
Oh, I just
You
said
said,
retweet. You gentlemen
yep.
said everything. Y'all know I don't fuck with the technologies and the apps and all that shit, bro. Like, please just put it on ABC and NBC, my nigga. Like, keep it simple. You shit. Yeah, I don't even fuck with Fox, but put one on there. You know what I'm saying? Give me one on Fox, and I'm cool, baby. Like, I'm really cool.
Once again, like the NFL, they do the Thursday night football. It's one night, like on Sunday. If you watch football and you have basic TV, you're watching at least 4 games, at least 3 games. You're watching 1, 4, and 8
You,
p.m.
yeah, you might get the APM.
You depending on where you at, you might have 2 1 o'clocks, 2 4 o'clocks. So
Facts.
bro, this is the thing, and why I always feel like the NFL will always be in a better place. One, less games, and two, access, bro. Even
I mean, but they
before all this,
one of the only leagues that still got their local sports, like local broadcasting deals and shit, like them in baseball.
yeah. Listen, even when you think about what was I about to say? Just in general, I hate the streaming. NBA really made me mad with that one. I really swear. Uh, let's move to the WNBA. So, first of all, WNBA fans are worse than all fans but the soccer fans. The European soccer fans still got them beat, but the WNBA fans are truly the worst. Some of the most delusional people ever to exist, and they're just really bad vibes. So I want them to know that I wish them nothing but bad things in their fandom, and yeah, very bad vibes. But with that being said, they are passionate. They are a passionate bunch, and I think their passion has run a little bit too, has overflowed a little bit, and it's clouding their minds when it comes to Aziz Fudd. What's is AZ? Is it Aziza or is it AZ?
I thought it was Ozzy.
Ozzy. Um, but AZ, she's gonna be AZ Fudd.
They yelled at me in the comments over over mispronunciation, so I'm not gonna butcher Miss
Yeah,
Fudd's first name. I got nothing for it.
yeah. So, A Fudd went number one in this most recent draft, 2026 WNBA draft, and she went to the Dallas Wings. Why is this a big deal? Well, for some people, it's a big deal because her girlfriend, Paige Beckers, also number one draft pick last year, plays for the Dallas Wings. So this was a conversation leading up to the draft. It was a conversation on draft night, back and forth. You know, should she have been drafted? Should she have not been drafted? Number one, blase blase.
That
But
shit should have.
in the press conference, in her opening press conference to the media, she was asked a question by a reporter as far as what is her relationship with Paige, how will that dynamic play out on the court, how has it played out in the past, and she was immediately shut down by the Dallas Wings PR, and now that has become all of the talking point for this conversation. Now the irony is that I wanted to talk about this, and me and Omatic were talking about this a little bit last night, and we actually had I feel like the opposite opinion in which we were like, I like the pick, just for the sense that she fits a need for this team very specifically. Now, this is how I see it. This wasn't a superstar draft. This WNBA draft wasn't a draft where you were saying this person is a no-brainer, best player. If we get them, our team is good for 10 years. I don't think there was a player in this draft like that. We've been wrong about drafts before in other sports, and we can't be wrong about this one. But for me personally, when I look at top to bottom, I don't see that in this draft class. So then I look at the wings. What do I think the wings needed? I think they needed a big. But to be fair, they went and they paid Elena Smith. I forgot who's the other girl they paid.
Jess Shepard.
They paid Shepard. They literally paid two bigs max money to come play big for them. So now when I look at it from that perspective, it changes my thinking because the best big to me probably in this draft is that girl from Spain. And I haven't seen her play, but I'm just judging off of the idea of,
African shoulder?
yeah, from African Shawty from Spain. I'm judging off the fact of the few highlights that I've seen of hers, the few highlight tapes, and off of the fact that last year Dom M, I won't butcher her name again,
Malanga.
Malonga, and you can axomatic on my mama. I was saying that Malonga should be the number one pick because of her upside. Because at 19 years old and how and her frame and everything she does, she has a chance to be a much better player for a much longer time, in my opinion. Now, Paige was definitely better than her last year, no question. Rookie of the year, all that good shit. But I think me and Omatic were talking from where the girl started in April, May of last year to where she finished in the playoffs with the Storm. I think you have to say, wow, that girl is gonna be like a superstar. Like that girl is gonna be at least a legitimate all-star for years to come in this league. I don't see that in this draft with Lauren Betts. I don't see that with Awa Farm. I just don't see that with them. So for me, if you're gonna pick a number one pick and you don't think they're generational in any aspect, you got to do what's the best fit for your team. And they already got two jacking ass guards. Like I know people talk about Paige efficiency, but Paige gets up a lot of shots. So essentially, her and Enrique be jacking that thing up. They don't have no point guard, but Paige has the ball a lot in her hands. And to be fair, she's the de facto point guard. What do they don't have? They don't got knockdown shooting. Fudd is 42% from three in her career. She's a knockdown shooter. Now, once again, nobody ever thinks of taking, strictly a knockdown shooter, like with that being like kind of your only best trait as the number one pick. I get that. But when you look around and you look at the circumstances, I don't think it's as crazy as people want to try to make it. Like I just don't. And this is taking away all the girlfriend stuff. Like screw the girlfriend. Just from a strictly what she brings to the Dallas Sky or the Dallas Wings, I don't think it's that bad of a pick, especially when you take everything into account. That's just me.
I feel you.
Now listen. If you're telling me that you believe that there are better talents than her in this draft, I'm not gonna argue with you. But she was the most outstanding player just a year ago in the Final Four. That featured Paige Becker. That featured a bunch of other draft picks from last year and this year. So for me, I don't even think you can make like a legitimate she's not worthy argument. You could just say that there are people more worthy than her.
I give you that. I just feel like even though you paid the money for the bigs, that didn't pan out. But at the same time, now
We
that you
don't
actually
know.
touche, but the way you actually broke that down just now, like them not having a point guard, and then it's just like Paige having the ball in her hands all the time. I just felt like, I guess it's more like the way you broke them down is similar to like how I broke down fucking Phoenix Suns last year.
Okay,
You know what I'm
not
saying?
bad.
Because it's just like, all right, you got niggas that's on jack, but you have no point guard. You got big, you got capable bigs, but we don't know what the fuck they can do because they just getting that bitch off the glass. So it's just like they not running pick and roll sets. And if it is a pick and roll set, if you're not popping, that nigga's going to the bar. And even
To,
if you do pop, he probably just shoot that bitch in midi. So
to be fair, I'm more than positive I saw that they signed Odyssey Sims to a training camp
Mm-hmm.
contract, and they did sign another point guard. And to be fair, I would argue in the WNBA, guard play isn't really what people are banking their seasons on. They're banking it on their bigs and their wings. So for Dallas, they're
Santa
actually
Cooper
doing
days
something.
are over, my boy.
Yeah, I think Dallas is actually doing something very different from like what a traditional team would do to, quote unquote, be a contender in the WNBA. They're building it from the guards out. So they paid Enrique, they have paid, and they're drafting Fudd. They're basically saying,
I mean,
hey,
Indiana y'all like doing the same thing.
nah, they had Aaliyah. That's the big. Then you went and got Caitlin.
Yeah, but I mean, but they just stamped to sign Kelsey to this max. So
Yeah, Kelsey was, but see, Kelsey been there 2018.
yeah, but it's just
So
like now, it's just like they committing to like a two guard system, Jack. Like
yeah, I think the issue is that once
they're
again,
behind, but
I think the issue is when your two guard is probably smaller than your actual point guard or your lead guard who handles the ball. It causes defensive issues. Like when I think of both the Fever and the Wings, the biggest issue is that Enrique or Kelsey is going to end up guarding two guards at times, and that is not a good defensive matchup just in general. But if you put Caitlin or Paige on them, that's going to take away from their offensive game. And Caitlin isn't that great of a defender to begin with. So making her do more on the defensive end when her plus value is on offense, that's not good. That's just not a winning formula. So like there's a lot of I think little things that play a part that I think are more of an issue for Dallas because they don't have that solid big. Like at least for Indiana, you can make the case that AB is your solid big. So you just need you can fill in rotation wings. You can fill in another point guard for uh not for Caitlin, but to play off and on with Kelsey or Caitlin. So I think we have an interesting couple months in the WNBA coming up, and like I said, I think Fudd is actually the perfect pick for this team.
I won't
I
say
think
perfect, but she a good pick. The way
I
you
think
broke it down makes it make sense.
I think she's the perfect pick for this team at this time and for how they're set up.
How good is
That's
she
what I
at
would say.
How good is she on defense?
Well, that's the issue. How good is she on defense? Like, the argument would be like she isn't good on defense. So because she isn't,
So now you got three guards with no defense.
well, I would argue Paige is an
She's
a, wa-
capable.
a wash, a capable, and I would argue Enrique is capable, but Enrique,
We know what she's focused on.
yeah, that's the issue. Like, is Enrique going? That's the thing. Paige, I would argue, is a wash. Is Enrique going to
Bro, take
dedicate?
her. Stop. Don't just take her out of the conversation.
All
Like
right, so
she's not playing defense.
so
Like
we're
we know
taking
she's not.
Enrique. So we're taking Enrique out the conversation. Then I would say,
We know she's not playing
and
defense.
Fudd, yeah, I think she can. I think she has. I think she has, in particular, in the WNBA. But I think this is the thing: she can't guard threes. They're gonna have to do a thing where she's guarding twos. So now it's, are you fast enough? Like I don't,
Blender,
huh?
blender.
Well, that's the thing. Can she move her feet? My thing is that Steph
She's
Curry,
strong enough.
huh?
She's strong enough. How tall is she?
5'11".
Two guards? I'm not mad at that. Like we're not talking about 6'4" two guards. Like that's the beauty of it. We're talking
No,
about
man.
the Sabrina Ionescu's of the world. We're talking about like that's why I think this is where coaching will come into a play with, because that's the thing. You're gonna have to sometimes hide her, or you're gonna sometimes have to put like when you do put her on threes,
I'm
you
about
probably
to
put
say.
her on threes that
Because
aren't
if
as
they
good.
play the dream and she get matched up on Ryan Howard,
Somebody got to check Ryan. I don't know who's. I don't know who to be. Like it's honestly nasty, right? Because you're gonna have Paige, Enrique, Flood, and you literally are. If you're
at
Dallas, you're
some point in
banking.
the game, that's definitely gonna be a lineup.
You're banking on your Just Shepard and
Mm-hmm.
Elena
Elena
Smith to
Smith.
just hold it down. That's what you're banking on defensively, which is not a bad idea. They also got Alicia Clark as well, savvy vet. You know what I mean? Like
Alicia Clark is a really good defender as well.
that's what I'm saying. So you got them to play defense, but again, they were I think like bottom two. It was them and the Sparks worst defense last year. So I mean, you did what you had to do to address the defense with these bigs, but yeah, them three, yeah, that's gonna be nasty work. Like
Well, that's what I'm saying. My thing is, I have seen in spurts Fudd and Page play good perimeter defense.
I believe in Page's defense.
Now, can they do it for prolonged periods in the WNBA? That's
They'll
a good
have
question.
to. They'll have to.
And then, yeah, to Max point, they'll have to. But like I said, I don't think, like I said, take away the girlfriend stuff. Like, take that away for a second. Just from a strictly basketball, hey,
I
this
haven't
was
mentioned it.
this was I'm talking about you, nigga. From a strictly like, how does she fit with this team? Take a beat and take a step back, and I think it's not as crazy as you would think. Like I said, the girl was just the most outstanding player in a Final Four a year ago. So you can't tell me she can't at least when it's time to step on the biggest stages prove to do that. Before her injuries, bro, she's from around the way. She was the best player in high school.
That's a
Like
fact.
before her knees, her injury. So my thing is that I'm more willing to give her the benefit of the doubt that she'll be able to live up, maybe not to previous number ones, Paige and Caitlyn, but she will be solid enough where we're not being like, oh, it's a bad pick. Because when we look at the draft and the people around her, she will have done just as good, if not better, than most of them. So shout out to Fudd. I hope you do well. You see, we do like. Well, apparently, we don't like black women because we picked Cece over Paige, which was crazy to me because they're both white women, but that's not how that works apparently.
And then the clip before that one was the Angel Reese clip. So
It's crazy how they had little to no smoke for the Angel Reese clip, but the CC clip,
they
just all,
brought out everybody, didn't they?
just all. And the funniest thing about it was that it was CC
Complexion
versus
for protection.
Paige, and people were making up arguments that just weren't happening.
Yeah, it was kind of wild.
People talking about y'all didn't talk about the turnovers. Literally, Omatic's
We talked about the
literally
turnovers.
Omatic going. There's one glaring stat:
Turnovers.
turnovers, and me shouting before he could even get it out. Turnovers, like it's very crazy how people will decide what they'll
But I
listen
mean,
to.
I felt like that was a thing that all four gentlemen understood because it's just like, bro, like she always has the fucking ball in her hand,
But
right?
not but here's my issue with turnovers, and just in general, who's leading the NBA in turnovers this year? Luka. Who's third per game? Not totals per game. Jokic. No one would be like, oh, Jokic because of all these turnovers. Like, no, because you take that in particular to Mook's point when they have the ball so much as much as they have the ball in their hands. I watched a lot of Caitlin Clark games that rookie year. Y'all not gonna sit up here and tell me I'm not gonna say half because that's crazy, but you're not gonna tell me there wasn't a good portion of those turnovers that weren't just either balls being dropped
I was
or
about to
literally
say.
her being fucking mauled and the ball being either stripped. Like, come on, bro. And that's okay because for months I was told that this is a physical league. That's what they do. Blase, blase. So I'm not mad. The girl, like I said, she still led the league in assists. So for all her turnovers, she found a pretty good way to make sure that she had more assists. So it is what it is.
And even when she was hurt last year, didn't she still like lead the league in assists or threes or something for like
Yeah, when she was
weeks?
there, when she was until she got hurt. Yeah, it was her. She was leading until she got hurt. And
I'm
then
saying even while she was hurt, I felt like she was still like a leader in a stat for
yeah,
like a good 2, 3 weeks.
yeah, for sure. Like once again, there's to say the girl doesn't have flaws is crazy, but to act as if she's not one of the 10 best players in the WNBA right now to me is also kind of crazy.
You're Delulu.
Just off of once again, I'm going off of a rookie year in which she was all WNBA, and in the second year, up until she was hurt, she had that horrible shooting streak. Like she went like what 0 for 30 at one point last year. So like she had a horrible shooting streak last year. But even with that, she was doing more stuff. Like she wasn't turning the ball over as much like, last year in compared to her rookie season. So you
She was
take the
on
good
pace
with the
to
bad.
have more double doubles too.
You take the good with the bad with I think a person like her, especially because I feel as though she has such a high ceiling. Like we've already seen what she can do. So uh, keeping it basketball, even though I was complaining about the NBA playoffs streaming, we are here. I need to apologize to Omatic because the Cleveland Cavaliers did not finish in the third seed. He was, and you know the beauty of it, he had to wait to the final day of the regular season when they were down. Yes, you did. When they were down by like 15 before he said anything. So
That wasn't the final game, to be clear. It was like on Saturday when I was like, oh. That was just a nail in the coffin for you. But
that was
anyway,
game
continue.
80. That was game 81. I'm sorry, that was game 81. And that was the
Continue.
game that Donovan Mitchell, and I'm glad you brought that up because all the things I said about the Cleveland Cavaliers, I take it back. I hate them. They had a chance to jump a seed. They had a chance to get to the third seed, but they sat Donovan Mitchell because they are ducking the Celtics. They are purposely ducking the Celtics in hope of playing the Pistons in the second round. I hope they don't get past the first round. I hope they lose and I hope they blow up the team because I hate a sucker ass motherfucker. Why are you ducking a team? Why? Why are you? If you're going to get to where you think you're going to get, which is the NBA Finals, you're going to
Half
have
the
to play
season.
you're going to have to play the Boston Celtics. That is a fact. If you believe you are going to the NBA Finals, you're going to have to play the Boston Celtics, whether it's in the conference finals or in the second round. So to purposely sit Donovan Mitchell in hopes that you don't get the Celtics in the second round as the third seed, I hope you do not prosper at all, and I hope only bad things for your team. You guys are cowards, and cowards should not prosper in this sports life that we live in. Amen. God bless. I hope the Toronto Raptors spank y'all.
I'm happy, man. Hey, Omatic, are we happy to have him or what? Are we happy to fucking have him or what? God damn it! Took 3 weeks, but we're
I was,
here.
bro, that was
We're
sucker shit.
here.
That was sucker shit.
We're fucking here.
There's no way
Oh my goodness.
you sit your best player when you have a chance to jump
You
out.
know, what's so stupid about it is, let's say you're trying to avoid Boston. Why wouldn't you want to play them sooner rather than later? Like they're still getting not. I mean, obviously they still look great, but they're getting into that groove with Tatum back. Why not want to play them now when they haven't fully figured it out? Versus if they come off
I
two
hope the
series
Cavs do
wins. That's
not
so
prosper.
dumb.
I hope the
That's very
Cavs do
dumb.
not prosper. I hope Cade Cunning comes back and puts 40 on their
Right.
head every game.
It's so bad.
Please,
It's nasty
please.
work.
I'm gonna say if you and to add to Omatic's point, why would you want to see a more healthier Cade? Like he got his run in, he got his health back, he got his lung back, all that in the playoffs,
I want
and then you
nothing.
gonna come back and be like, "Oh, I made it through that first series, nigga. I bet who next? Oh, Donovan Mitchell and them. Oh yeah, bet
I want
food.
nothing good for them. Nothing good for them. We have
They play
two
the
of
Raptors on the first round.
yes, we have
Okay.
two of the four playing teams in the.
Thought we played them niggas in the first round.
I thought y'all did too.
No, y'all played the Knicks. Knicks are
Ooh.
We
Knicks are Knicks are 3. You guys are 6. Cavs are 4. Toronto 5.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's nasty work.
exactly.
yeah, because that four
Exactly.
five, yeah, that 4 5 6,
Well,
that shit came down to the last 3 games. Yeah, you right, you right, you right, you right, you
exactly.
right.
And here's my well. Let's
Mm.
while we're here,
All
let's talk about it real quick. I think the Knicks have a legitimate chance to lose in the first round, and they should be very scared. If they, but also if they don't, I wouldn't put like all the stock in the world because this Hawks team in particular is super young and they have all these trade deadline pieces. Like this isn't a team that has had enough time for me to be like, oh yeah, they know what to do and that, like they just got Kaminga. It feels like last week they traded for C.J. McCollum. They traded away Trey Young, and then let Jalen Johnson be the main man, lead guy. So like
Nikhil Alexander Walker.
he's been there all year though. So like, but to your point,
I mean,
he's
we traded too. We traded
oh
for
yeah,
him.
coming in this yeah, like I said, so like everything is kind of new with this team. So for me, I'm not sure like how the when things get rough. Because that's the thing about the playoffs. It's not just about when things are going good. It's about like yo, can you pull on when things have gone bad in the past? Can you lean on that and get you through a certain moment or a certain time? I just don't think the Hawks have that in them. But I think they're so good, and I think the Knicks are so up and down that I wouldn't be surprised. So that's how I think about that series. I think the Sixers have no chance. If anybody should have been avoiding people, it should have been them. Like, and B just got hurt again with this appendix shit. So like, yeah, he can come back, but once again, I just don't know
Bro,
what.
that's 2 to 3 weeks.
They saying they saying the last 5 times they met in the offs, Sixers win them all. Just saying.
So
That's
oh, the
what they saying.
Celtics, they haven't.
Sixers won them all, bro. I'm telling you.
What do you mean?
But this hasn't been when the Celtics were good. So
I mean, they played the Celtics in the playoffs a few years ago, and the Celtics came back down 3-2.
maybe I saw the wrong thing. I saw
Yeah,
something that
but
said they was
no,
spanking them niggas.
the Sixers haven't beat the Celtics in a playoff series in which Wilt Chamberlain or Julius Erving wasn't featured.
Oh, that's nasty work.
Yeah, like that's my issue with them is that I, if you told me straight up who do I think I would be like, oh, this is a toss up. The Sixers got Embiid, Maxey, George. Celtics got Tatum, Jalen Brown, Derek White. But I just don't trust anybody on the Sixers outside of Maxey. So it's hard for me to, um,
Not a fucking soul.
huh?
Not a fucking soul.
Yeah, it's hard for me to really take these guys serious. I think everything happens in the West. Lakers, Rockets, the old man battle, KD versus LeBron. Yeah, you think it matters if KD wins or loses?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, this is his first year in Houston, right? I mean, they didn't bring him here to lose in a fucking first round, man. Like,
we said that when he was in Phoenix.
exactly. So you can't do this again. Like, I think it matters, especially.
But we also said it in Brooklyn.
Exactly. You can't do this again. This just further taints the legacy if you
But
go
he
out in the
keeps
first round.
doing it again.
So
Here's,
it's further
here's
taint
my
the
thing.
legacy then.
Before Luca and Austin Reeves got hurt, I would have agreed with you. I would have been like, it doesn't. Now he can't lose. You
At
can't
Yeah,
all.
lose to
yeah.
this version of a Lakers squad because then,
A 41-year-old LeBron James.
but then the question really has to become about, all right, Kevin Durant, you're a great scorer. You might be one of the best offensive players ever to exist. But how much did you actually impact winning outside of Golden State? Like you went to the finals twice. You went to the finals once in OKC, and then you didn't get back there again. And when after you left OKC and after you left Golden State, you haven't sniffed any sort of actual winning playoff success. So I think just off of some, hey, I can prove that like, you know, it wasn't just them. Like, no, I don't think anybody's expecting the Rockets to get to the finals or anything like that. But I do think you have to win a first round series in which the Lakers' two best players for the season aren't going to be there. I
I
don't
look, he
care
thought they
who,
was about to fuck off into the play-in.
huh?
I thought they was about to fuck off
Nah,
into
it
the
was too,
play-in.
it was too far. But I just don't think this would be good for legacy talks if you lose to this Lakers team in particular, because that means LeBron James would have been going nuts. And you getting cooked, I don't even care if you're 37, but getting cooked by a 41-year-old LeBron would not be good. Um, and then I think we'll move to my favorite series is Jokic versus Ant. Um, Fun fact: last 28 games, Denver Nuggets and the Timberwolves are 14-14 against each other.
Hmm.
This is the ultimate toss-up game because I think that Denver and Minnesota both kind of match up well against each other, and they do things that the other team can't really doesn't have any answers for. Gobert really has no answer for Jokic, and
The NBA
Timberwolves
ain't got no answer for Joey.
fair, but in particular, Jokic seems to get off a little bit even more against Gobert.
Yeah,
But what I think the
same
Timberwolves
stats.
do a good job of is not allowing that to affect everybody else. And what I mean by that is that when Jokic goes off on Gobert, it's normally just on Gobert. They're not throwing three, four defenders and getting like the buckets that even Jokic gets for other people and himself are very tough buckets. He's just that much better than him. And I think doing that thing where you say, hey, Jokic, you could be the best player on the court, but not everybody else is going to beat us, is an actual decent recipe when taking on the Denver Nuggets because they've proven that if Jamal Murray ain't in that bag for real, you'll have a shot. Jokic can get triple doubles and they'll still lose. So I think with that mindset the Timberwolves have, that keeps them games. And I think Ant is truly an issue for the Nuggets because the Nuggets don't. Since Bruce Brown is back now, so we'll see. But they don't have guards that I actually worry about guarding. Like I don't think when I think of the Nuggets guards, I don't their guards don't worry me that they'll actually strap up, and I think that's to Timberwolves' advantage because those wing players, even with McDaniel's, who's not a guard but a wing, they can get off. And I
Shit,
think
even Nas Reed.
yeah, he's more of a big man. So, but yeah, wing player,
You
they
know what
can
I'm
get
saying?
off
He
like
be out that bitch.
McDaniel's got off multiple times last year
Oh, yeah.
in the playoffs. And Edwards, like I said, up and down, but he got off. And I think
He got
because
like
Denver doesn't
35 or
have
something.
those perimeter guards or those just the perimeter players to guard the Timberwolves guards, it makes them say, "Hey, we'll fight that with Jokic." So we'll do an outside versus you doing the Jokic inside everything game. So I think it's most intriguing that series. I want to see who gets the best of who, and I think it's a very good narrative series because whoever loses, I think there's very very strong agendas to be pushed.
My favorite series is, of course, my favorite team, Hawks versus Knicks, for the simple fact that we traded away Trey Young. And you know what I'm saying? I feel like the last time I had an exciting time in the garden with the Hawks, we was rolling dice. You know what I'm saying on that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? So I want to see if we still got that heart. I want to see if these young niggas gonna take over that, and I honestly think um, the length and the defensive capabilities that we have on our team is going to give Brunson some issues, low key. Like I'm not saying we're going to stop him. I'm not even going to say we really going to cause that much of an issue for this nigga because he's very good. Like I'm not going to lie to you, especially in the fourth quarter. Like nigga, bro, Lab will have 13 points through three quarters and then have 13 in the fourth.
Whoa.
So it's just like, yeah, bro. So all due respects to Big Body Brunson, but I really feel like I think this is gonna be like one of them 6, 7. I think it's gonna be like one of them long series though in the first round, like cool 6, 7 jump. You know what I'm saying? I think it's gonna be one of them, especially if Cat ain't on his jump. You know what I'm saying? If Cat ain't playing how he's supposed to play, then I think that's really gonna be a problem because I don't think OG and all them gonna bring it every night. Like I think they're gonna have to choose, like, oh yeah, like Jalen Johnson defensively this night, and then I have to also attack Jalen Johnson offensively some nights to help me defensively. So it's just like, yeah. But and then like Kaminga, I'm interested to see what he's gonna do, and then Nikhil Alexander Walker, bro. Like I've loved everything he did all year, so I'm excited to see that and retweet everything you said about that boy KD, because I definitely think if that man does not beat get out the first round this year, especially against this Lakers team, then we need to have some real conversations, especially the after Curry conversations. But of course, getting the Ant-Man and the Timberwolves. I also think this is going to be a long series. Like I think it's going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be a good one. Like, everybody keep talking about Gordon being the X factor. I definitely think, like you said, Charles, like Jamal Murray's gonna be the X factor for that series. Like if he's not in his bag, or like Bubble Murray, or like how he's finished the season on these runs, like 25, 28, 30 years, 40 years, then it's just like, yeah, bro, like it's gonna be pretty slow for them gentlemen. But especially what you said, like the length and the wing plays and everything that them niggas got going on defensively and offensively, with that they can attack you with. So. But I think this is like the first playoffs I've been low key excited for because I think a lot of matchups are like even or interesting. So we'll see.
Brother James.
We got agendas to push, man. We got so many agendas to push. What are we chatting? Just the whole overall playoffs here, man? Is that?
What's your biggest agenda you want to push?
I mean, so months ago when we first started 7.0 back up, I think we touched on sports one time. I mean, I literally said Denver. You know what I'm saying? I'm riding for Denver in my heart to go all the way this year. I need Joker. No. 'Cause I randomly at one point I used to make a bracket often.
He copped the plea, Charles.
No. Not for sure, but I used to make the brackets, man. I filled out the bracket, and I'm just like, all right, I got two jumps. I got one for reality and one for my heart. But I mean, I literally have been saying I need Joker just to get one more. We're about to get cheated out of the MVP, so be it. Let's just go win the whole fucking thing. And I think, go ahead. Sorry.
Get cheated out of the MVP. After you were on this same microphone, this same show, on this same day a couple weeks ago, it stopped me and Charles in our fucking tracks.
I said it was wrapped up. I said it was just wrapped up. Cats was trying to make their arguments.
You said it was going to who, though?
It was wrapped up. It wasn't me.
You said it was going to who, though?
It's going to Shay. I put the jersey on. Like, what are we talking about?
Okay.
Anyway.
So how you get cheated?
He got cheated. I mean, look at the stats. Anyway, it's beautiful stats.
He's done something only Michael Jordan has done, though, brother.
Joker just did something no one's ever done, brother.
That's a fact. But I'm saying, but what Shea has done?
What no one has ever done?
What Shea did was higher than Jordan.
What's that? The 20 points?
No, the 50.
The 50?
The 50
Yeah.
5% from the field, 30 points per game.
I mean, again, to my point, as we said, MVP years for Joker. He's got even better numbers, so it just doesn't make sense. But I get it at the same time. Anyway, man, I have agendas to push. I need him to go all the way.
Number one team in the West,
Who? Him?
the MVP.
I mean, there's been MVPs that haven't been the number one team before. When
I hear
Joker
you there.
when Joker won it, he wasn't. I mean, it's just how it is sometimes. Anyway, agendas to push, man. Very sad for Luca not being there. Um, there's already Nugget Timberwolves talk. I think to the point of just these playing stuff, man. I think we need Steph to win it, and we need Charlotte to win it. Okay, we want more playoff Steph. I don't think anybody would deny that. We don't need Phoenix. Come on now, you guys are dropping the ball. As a Wizards once fan, I guess I could say I'm still a fan. We also need Phoenix to lose for some lottery stuff to go up. But I know we all know about the Pistons Hornets beef. Ejections happened weeks ago. Like, we need that in the first round, and nobody wants to see Paulo. Right? We don't want to see Paulo, bro. We don't want to see that, man. So let's ride. I mean, again, for weeks ago, I said Celtics probably, it's theirs to lose before Tatum came back, and his arrival just pretty much solidified everything that I did say. But I'm riding for Denver, man. Definitely an agenda-driven round one series. We all know the battles that we have in all the chats. But I mean, shit. Joker gets this joint, man. Talk about a gauntlet. Talk about that Derek gauntlet he did for his one ring, bro. You play Ant. Then you do Wemby, and then you do Shea, and then you do the Celtics. Like, we need that, and then we can be done, bro. Go fucking play with your horses, even though you said he still wants to continue playing. Fuck it, get this ring and just be like, nigga, I'm the GOAT. I got it all.
I still don't think that's fucking with that Dirk run though.
It might not, but nigga, that would be crazy.
You know what's
That
funny though?
That Dirk run is.
You know what's funny?
Nuts.
I saw someone say that Ed, on the flip side, could do the same thing.
He could.
If he beats Jokic, he beats Wemby, he beats Shea. If he gets to an NBA Finals, I think the conversation about him changes tremendously. So, I think there's a few different people to.
Dash me up, Charles.
Huh?
Dash me up, brother.
I think to Amadic's point, the the teams that people would have to beat to get through it would be a sort of type of gauntlet that a lot of people's sort of legacy and career conversations will change with these playoffs. For example, if Cade gets Detroit to the finals, I think
I got that in my heart bracket. Nuggets, Pistons.
I think people are looking at him a lot differently. If the Celtics get back and they win it, that's 2 finals in 3-4 years. Like, conversation, we start talking differently about Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. If the Knicks go all the way, like, there's enough teams.
Please let's not put that in the clip.
There's enough teams and there's enough ambiguity as to who will get to the end that this becomes a very, very interesting playoff. So let everybody's agendas play out to the best of their abilities and let the basketball gods do as they will. Before we get up out of here, do we want to get somewhat messy, or do we want to just do a quick goodbye to the people?
Don't tempt me with a good time, damn it. You know what I mean?
All right, so Ashley Janae, y'all heard about her?
Oh.
Who is that?
This is a young lady who was in, I want to believe, Tanzania, and who was murdered by what we believe was her partner, fiance, and black woman murdered by a white man. And there has been a lot of conversation.
I'm into the story. I ain't no shorty name.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of conversation surrounding her digital footprint, the things she has said in the past about black men in general, her line of work, what she was doing, blase. I think my only question here, because I mean, I don't really like talking about the dead, in particular someone who's kind of died in the way she has died. and all this stuff around her. But I do think there's a conversation about your digital footprint, and once you pass, how people should kind of hold you. Should people or shouldn't people hold you for those things? I don't know. There was a Nigerian cat, I think, in Texas, who got killed by his white girlfriend. She went to trial this year, and I think she got acquitted. I think she got acquitted for murdering, or for his death or his murder or whatever. And a lot of the conversation basically is, "Hey, buddy, you were cooning it up, and because you were cooning it up, it is what it is." And that was overwhelmingly the conversation. Both men and women, black people. I don't really see too many white people having talking about that, but in general, that was a conversation. Hey, you were cooning it up. You get what you get, my brother. But for this woman, who had somewhat of some of the similar same sort of commentary, da da da, there seems to be a lot of like, hey, like let's slow down with the, kind of chastising and whatnot. And I'm just interested that like, should it be kind of a no holds bar, or should we be a little bit have more empathy for people in particular when they pass? Like, should their digital footprint be um as cared about?
I'm feeling the empathy personally. I think at first I was like, damn. Well, I mean, even still, when I'm looking at the digital stuff, it's really like, damn, right? Like you're really shitting on the black man. But I think the overarching issue is that, like, the domestic violence, and this woman allegedly was murdered. Like, I don't know if it's been determined yet. I don't know if this guy's in jail yet or custody or anything of that nature. But I think, we're ha-haing too much over the fact that a woman lost her life by domestic violence. So, I mean, yeah, the tweets and shit is terrible. You know what I'm saying? You was flaunting this, you know, race is better than what you are, this type of man, and said man allegedly took your life. So I mean, it's like, haha, this is what you get, but at the same time, this is literally domestic violence. Someone lost their life. So it's just like, at first I was like, oh yeah, this is crazy, but then I was like, damn, somebody really died off of this. Like, this isn't funny anymore to me. So I got some empathy for her, but the tweets was definitely wild. Everything she was saying was wild. So
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree. I think it's easy when you first see it to kind of be like, come on, man. Especially in the kind of the internet landscape we live in with the "is this you?" Like that's a whole genre of tweet where like you poke folk at someone's hypocrisy, essentially. And we do it a lot when people die. Like we heighten it, in particular when it's kind of, I think, ironic, and for better or for worse, this is ironic. Like when someone talks about like doing something crazy and then they die doing something, someone talks maybe about like drunk driving or something, and then they end up, getting it. People bring up those tweets. Oh, look at this person, da da, and a lot of it is poking fun at the fact that you said this and then this happened. But to Maddox's point, no matter what she said about black men, da da, there's a very much so a domestic violence component that I think it's hard to separate. It's not that like, I don't know, like it's just like it's very weird to kind of get the kind of I told you so to somebody in this predicament in particular. And it's like, yeah, it's fucked up that she did say those things, but it's even more fucked up that her life got taken away. Like it's not an apple for apple comparison. It's not really fair that her life got taken away. Like she should be put on the summer jam screen for the things she said, sure, but she doesn't deserve to be dead. So yeah, I'm with you on Maddie. The empathy, I think, is probably the overwhelming emotion that ultimately I have felt when thinking about this story when it's come full circle for me.
I don't really got much on it. I ain't read the article.
Well, to be fair, it's not much of an article. It's a lot of Twitter conversation because,
I was just meant like the coverage period, whether
oh yeah,
Twitter
because I mean she,
conversation or anything
like I
else.
said, she was murdered in
No,
Florida.
I'm hip. Like I'm hip to the fact that like it was abroad. Like they was out in the Amazon, and I mean, said the Amazon stuff in the law, and the Sahara, whatever, and the safari and all of that. So it's
They
just
said it
like
was suicide too. Apparently, that is I guess, the initial reports, and everyone, all of her friends and family are saying,
yeah, like that's bullshit.
yeah. So
So it's just like I'm hip to that part because like, I got like
I don't want to say someone murdered somebody when they
yeah,
officially are not on the books for murder.
yeah, I got the spark notes, but like but I saw immediately like after I read the jump, like the next scroll down on Instagram was like niggas dissecting the video, trying to see if it's AI and all that shit. Then that's when I was just like off it because it was just like, what are we coming to? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? So, yeah, I think you gentlemen put it perfectly. Domestic violence, empathy, everything that was overshadowed because everybody want to get their shit off, their 15 seconds of fame and all that shit that comes with, you know what I'm saying, this type of coverage or lack thereof, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yeah, but, and then it's like, it's easy to be like, ha ha ha, that's you, not me. But it's just like, black men be black women too. Like, you bringing the race into this doesn't matter. So it's just like, yeah, but, you know what I'm saying? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give everyone ease and contentment going through their situation right now. And may He also forgive them and reunite them in the fields of Jannah Urus. Amen.
All right, and before we leave, I want to say my favorite holiday is coming up, 420, the best holiday of the year. My favorite holiday, only second to Halloween, and they switch depending on how I'm feeling. But 420, smoke a good doobie. If you're not into smoking, get some edibles, some brownies,
And shit,
maybe a drink.
get you one of them sodas.
Yeah, I was about to say, get you a drink. There's plenty of options. Um, enjoy time with the friends. I like to uh, uh, align 420 with like Earth Day vibes. So if you're really not into the ganja, go outside. Like, feel some sun, feel some outdoors. Like, be one with the earth. I feel like that's a very much so a 420 type of vibe. Uh, get some good smoke. Support your local drug dealer. As a man who be in the dispensaries, I still believe in supporting your local drug dealers.
I
So
bought some street weed the other week.
if you can, support the local cat. Go into that apartment that smells like incense. Like,
Definitely lived in an
you,
apartment.
have that dude come deliver that ape to you in his whip. Like, like, let's keep this shit. Let's get back to our
This
roots.
nigga Charles said, we need community again, goddamn it. You know what I'm
Let's
saying? You know how we
get
used
back
to
to our roots, man.
go back to our good man Addy house on 420. Shout
You
out to
know what?
Addy. You know what I'm saying?
This
Shout out to good man Addy.
this is what I want this year for 420. I
Addy
want
J Productions. She got a podcast. My bad, Charles. I got to
no, no,
plug my
no.
man right quick.
I was gonna say, I just want y'all to throw a 420 party. I want cats to get back to the, like, not a super super house party, because house parties are kind of crazy, but like, I want someone to have a good 420
A
time.
house party's really crazy, Charles. I miss a good house party.
I don't feel like people throw them anymore because they're kind of crazy. That's why nobody wants to.
The bankers be having a good house party.
I haven't had a house party in a little while, but we'll
Do it Monday, buddy.
nah, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for guests yet. But 420, my favorite holiday. You guys
Okay.
enjoy.
They got playoffs Sunday.
Yeah,
It better
We'll
be.
playoffs
we'll
start
we'll
Saturday.
talk we'll talk offline for what I was about to say.
Better
Playoffs
be.
start Saturday, and we got games until June. So,
Ho.
um, and
Are we gonna have like emergency pods reviewing the games?
it's on y'all. We could always go. We could always get an emergency pod in.
I'm with that. Like a little short, like 30 minute, 25 minute jump.
Yeah, depending on what happens, the game has to be good, and there has to be
Good enough for us to react.
yeah, there has to be a good enough reaction, and it has to be like an eliminate. It has to be like a series clincher.
Agenda pushing
Yeah,
games.
agenda pushing or series clincher.
Hey, bitch, we got one first round. Lock in.
There's no Sunday game. Like, there's no emergency pod on Sunday. But like, maybe by like Thursday, maybe somebody's gonna get swept. So there could be, so there's options. I like how you're thinking though. Mook. I like how you're thinking. Enjoy,
Content, brother. I got my wisdom cap on.
enjoy 420. Love, peace, and blessings. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good shit. And we'll see you guys next week. Deuces.